All right. It is another one of those nights if you follow the 49ers. We've had some wild ones, some ones where people get pretty excited about stuff. I still remember the all-nighter that we pulled a couple years back when the 49ers re-signed Trent Williams and Alex Mack. They signed him, didn't re-sign Alex Mack, but they brought back Trent Williams and they signed Alex Mack in the same night. That was a whole lot of news and a whole lot of excitement. You know what? I think this is even bigger. The 49ers have traded for Christian McCaffrey in a move that has so many implications, both as far as the X's and O's go and as far as the 49ers' overall franchise philosophy goes, because they spent a whole lot of draft capital to grab Christian McCaffrey. And guess what? It is also a full circle kind of move because Christian McCaffrey played his college football at Stanford, where he was absolutely sensational. In fact, I covered Christian McCaffrey at Stanford. Here's the evidence. I pulled up the old picture. There's me and Christian McCaffrey back when I was working with ESPN covering Stanford football. This is in probably 2016. It was the year after Christian McCaffrey broke Barry Sanders' NCAA season record for all-purpose yardage. Christian had 3,861 all-purpose yards for Stanford in one season in 2015. It was maybe, I've seen some crazy record-breaking performances and I've seen some great performances in person, but watching his 2015 season at Stanford was something else. And there we are talking about it. So it all comes full circle because McCaffrey's back in the Bay Area. He's got family connections to both Shanahan and a college connection to John Lynch, who's a Stanford guy. And here's our article about it all on The Athletic. So, I've been dropping some of these factoids into the piece as we have developed it. So please do check it out. I'm going to drop this one into the comment section. There you go. The link is up there. So go ahead and check it out. That's the link to our McCaffrey piece on The Athletic. More content on this, obviously, coming soon, but we're going to talk about it on the show right now. So subscribe to The Athletic. Check it all out. Let's sit back. Let's talk some Christian McCaffrey. I may answer some questions later. I know the comment section is likely going to blow up. So we'll be ready for anything, though, on this show today as we discuss the 49ers' latest edition. And, I have some stuff teed up right now, so why don't we go back to it? Full circle, Christian McCaffrey to the 49ers. First of all, the 49ers have gone into F them picks mode. I don't want to use the actual word because then somebody might complain here on YouTube, so we'll keep this child-friendly. But the Rams were also in the running for Christian McCaffrey. The 49ers beat out the Rams in these sweepstakes. And in many prior years, the Rams at the trade deadline or before the trade deadline had gone all in on some of these potential acquisitions, and they had netted the players as a result. They decided to just empty their bank of draft picks. And Rams general manager Les Snead famously said what I have quoted underneath me: F them picks, when the Rams decided to just trade all of their picks for a player. And the 49ers had always been aggressive. I think it's one of the biggest misconceptions of the 49ers haven't been aggressive. In fact, they've done something at every single trade deadline under Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, except for 2018. So in 2017, the 49ers acquired Jimmy Garoppolo. That was a splash move before the trade deadline. In 2019, they acquired Emmanuel Sanders for a third and fourth rounder. That was another splash move before the trade deadline. In 2020, they made a smaller move that yielded huge dividends when they ran that pick swap and they got Jordan Willis from the Jets. He ended up being a hero on special teams in the divisional playoff game against Green Bay last year. And then the 49ers netted themselves a stud pass rusher in Charles Omenihu in 2021. So that was all before this major move to get Christian McCaffrey. But nothing has cost as much as this move for Christian McCaffrey outside of the 3 first-round picks for Trey Lance. So don't tell me that the 49ers aren't aggressive when they've done all of this stuff, including the 3 first-round picks for Trey Lance. Well, then, now look what they gave up for Christian McCaffrey. Their 2023 second rounder, their 2023 third rounder, their 2023 fourth rounder, and their 2024 fifth rounder. That's a whole lot of picks. The other day I wrote about what the 49ers might be inclined to offer for Christian McCaffrey, and I thought it'd be 2 picks at most, the third rounder and a fourth rounder. I didn't think that they would want to part with their 2018 and 23 second round pick. But they were willing to part with their 2023 second round pick. And they are also willing to part with their 2024 fifth round pick on top of that, on top of the third and the fourth round picks from this season. The 49ers, because of the comp pick that had been awarded to them, I believe through Mike McDaniel leaving to Miami. They also got one from Robert Saleh leaving to the New York Jets, but they do have a third round comp pick in this 2023 upcoming draft. So that meant that they had two third round picks in this draft. And they're obviously able to send one of those third round picks to Carolina, who demanded it for Christian McCaffrey. The Panthers are eating like $26 million of dead money for this. So they needed to be compensated fairly in return from the 49ers. Because if you're going to eat that much dead money, you're going to want some draft capital in return to rebuild your franchise. And, they're giving McCaffrey to the 49ers at a convenient price, at least for the short term. And this is something that I didn't write yet. Everybody guess how much Christian McCaffrey is going to cost the 49ers on the 2022 salary cap. I want to see some of your guesses. How much do you think that Christian McCaffrey will cost the 49ers on this year's salary cap? I am going to write it down on the screen and put it up on the screen after I see a few guesses. It's a nice total. I think you guys will like this. Some of you probably been cheating. Some of you probably already seen this on my Twitter. All right, let's see some of the guesses. Somebody says $1 million, 1.2 million, 1.6 million, 5 million. There are a couple correct guesses. Somebody thinks 29 million. Christian McCaffrey will cost the 49ers $646,000. Only $646,000 on the 2022 salary cap. How is that possible? Well, the Panthers aren't running a very tight ship over there. That's why they just fired their coach, and stuff is crumbling down. That's why they decided to trade Christian McCaffrey. But the Carolina Panthers restructured Christian McCaffrey's deal not too long ago in hopes of, I think, extending him or keeping him around. You don't restructure somebody's deal unless you plan to keep them around. They converted base salary into signing bonus to spread out the cap payments in the future years. Well, the problem is because they gave Christian McCaffrey all that base salary money then as a signing bonus, they're going to owe that to him regardless on the salary cap. And when you trade somebody or when you release somebody, all the money that you've already paid him that hasn't yet hit the cap, because signing bonus money doesn't hit the cap right away, it's spread out over the future, all that money hits the cap right away. So the Carolina Panthers now have to spend a whole lot of dead money on Christian McCaffrey because they'd already paid all this money to him, thanks in large part to this restructure that they executed. But that's good news for the 49ers because McCaffrey's base salary for 2022 was lowered to only 640. Well, it was lowered to 1.035 million, but the 49ers only owe him the prorated portion of that for the rest of this season. So the McCaffrey bill is not going to be a big one at all. And, when we talk about cost, it's all a trade capital cost. The 49ers decided to give up a bunch of draft picks. This marks a big change in, I think, organizational trade philosophy before the deadline. Remember, the 49ers had already determined that they were going to spend draft picks for draft order when they traded those first rounders for Trey Lance. But here they are trading it for a proven commodity, a 1,000 guy a couple years ago in Christian McCaffrey. And I think the simplest explanation of all of this, of what the 49ers need, they need to fix their run game. Their run game, ever since Elijah Mitchell went out, ever since Trey Lance went out, is just cratered. They're not run blocking well. They're not hitting the hole well. I think that they really need a specific kind of skill set to hit the creases in this run game. And I mean, you saw it in Atlanta. They did not run the ball effectively. And the 49ers run game, by DVOA, they rank number 26 in efficiency in the run game. They rank number 7 in the pass game. So Jimmy Garoppolo's playing well. The receivers, I think, aside from the drops, are playing well. They're getting separation. Let's put it that way. The pass protection wasn't bad against Atlanta. But here the 49ers are sitting with a number 7 overall ranked pass game by DVOA, yet a number 26 run game. And that's just not going to work for a Kyle Shanahan coach team. So they need more talent to be able to hit the creases in the run game. And Christian McCaffrey gives you that, obviously. He's a premier back when he's healthy, and he's been healthy this year. But on top of that, he can also line up as a receiver. He's a versatile weapon. And we talk about the positionless skill positions that Kyle Shanahan likes to emphasize. Deebo Samuel is playing running back at the same time that he's playing receiver. George Kittle has played tight end, lined up out wide. He's even taken handoffs. Kyle Juszczyk is the ultimate joker out there, right? He could line up anywhere out on that football field. You have so many different chess pieces that can play anywhere. Like you could say, when you look at a chessboard, the queen could do so many different things. Well, the 49ers try and strive to have that kind of versatility in their offense because Kyle Shanahan can create matchup nightmares that way. Christian McCaffrey fits perfectly into that dynamic. In fact, imagine the McCaffrey dynamic with Deebo Samuel out on the field. Once these guys get going, I think Ian Rappaport said that the 49ers are going to try to fit Christian McCaffrey into the lineup on Sunday. We'll talk about that a little bit more. I mean, that just ups the ante for this game against the Kansas City Chiefs. But you think about Deebo Samuel and opposing defenses. They're not sure, is Deebo going to line up out wide? Is Deebo going to be in the slot? Oh, no, here comes Deebo Samuel. He's just shifted into the backfield. That means Deebo Samuel might get a carry. Oh, crap, we're in nickel right now. He's just going to truck whatever little tiny nickel back we put in there. This is not good. And you could see defense is starting to, the gears are starting to turn in their heads. And they're like, this is not good. How do we defend this? That's why Deebo Samuel has seen so much success, because he just bullies people, especially defenses that are too undersized. Well, now you could trot both Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey out there, and McCaffrey brings the same kind of matchup problems, right? He could line up in the slot. He could shift back into the backfield. But when he shifts back into that backfield, he gives you something that's, I think, a little bit different than what Deebo Samuel brings in terms of a bruising runner. McCaffrey brings you some of that shiftiness. So it's like lightning and thunder, right? You have a situation here where you have a diversified skill set now in the backfield for the 49ers. And I'm not saying that McCaffrey isn't strong. I mean, he's a ball of muscle as well. But of course, his game is built a little bit more on shiftiness, whereas somebody like Deebo Samuel, he's going to run people over. And so I think the 49ers offense, which had striven so much for, just barreling over smaller defenders, well, now they have some of that lightning with Christian McCaffrey to add into the mix as well. The McCaffrey 49ers connection goes really, really far back, and this is worth talking about. By the way, those of you just joining, make sure that you're checking out this analysis that we already have up for you on The Athletic. I'm going to copy and paste and put this into the chat section. You can go ahead and click on the link. I'm going to put the banner up right now as well. Make sure you subscribe to The Athletic. Check out all this instant reaction that we have. For me, this is cool. I'm happy that you've tuned into the channel because this is full circle for me. I covered Christian McCaffrey back at Stanford, and I saw him do some insane stuff on the football field. This picture circa 2016. Christian McCaffrey, obviously, in the Bay Area then, back in the Bay Area now with the 49ers. Fun fact, Christian McCaffrey's biggest college football game at Stanford came at Levi's Stadium, where he'll make his debut for the 49ers on Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs. Christian McCaffrey against USC in 2015. This was the Pac-12 championship game at Levi's Stadium. Racked up 461 all-purpose yards. I believe he also threw a touchdown in that game. I think the 49ers, Stanford ran a trick play, and he threw a touchdown in that game. On his way to the Rose Bowl, in the Rose Bowl, Christian McCaffrey just embarrassed Iowa. The quarterback for Iowa in that game was C.J. Beathard, and a man named George Kittle played tight end for Iowa in that game. So you talk about full circle and everything intertwining. National Tight End Day against Kansas City with Travis Kelce on the field and Greg Olsen in the broadcast booth on Sunday. Well, there's more trivia for you. Christian McCaffrey played against George Kittle in in George Kittle's, I think George Kittle still had one more year at Iowa at that point. Yeah, he did. They all entered in 2017, but it was the Rose Bowl for George Kittle and C.J. Beathard, and it didn't go well because of Christian McCaffrey here pictured at Stanford. Anyway, the ties go way back for Christian McCaffrey and the 49ers. Make sure to check out the article up there on the screen, and I'll put it later on in the comment section. And let's scroll down, put this back on the screen. Let's talk about the ties. Let's talk about the connection. Ed McCaffrey is Christian McCaffrey's dad. wide receiver, Super Bowl champion with the Denver Broncos, obviously. But people forget that Ed McCaffrey was also a Super Bowl champion with the San Francisco 49ers in 1994. Mike Shanahan, offensive coordinator, and Ed McCaffrey, Christian's dad, played for the 49ers in the 49ers' most recent Super Bowl winning campaign, that 1994 season. So there's a little bit of connection. Beyond that, though, Ed McCaffrey went and followed Mike Shanahan to Denver. Kyle Shanahan was a teenager in the late 90s when Ed McCaffrey was playing receiver with John Elway in Denver. And it just so happens that Kyle Shanahan, at least once, according to Christian McCaffrey in an interview in 2017, Kyle Shanahan at least once babysat Christian McCaffrey. Kyle Shanahan's sister, for sure, babysat all four McCaffrey boys because Christian McCaffrey has three brothers. Kyle Shanahan's sister babysat all four boys multiple times, and supposedly they were a handful. So that was the connection back in the late 1990s in Denver, where Kyle Shanahan grew up, and obviously where Christian McCaffrey grew up because his dad, Ed McCaffrey, played for the Broncos. Too bad that the 49ers have already played the Broncos this year. I'm sure the 49ers would like another crack at them with Christian McCaffrey in the lineup, but also for all these cool family connections. We could have talked some about that, but obviously, that was week 3. That's in the rearview mirror. That game probably one of the reasons why the 49ers did trade for Christian McCaffrey, because they couldn't do much at all offensively in that game. Anyway, more connections. You move forward to the Stanford days, and John Lynch and Christian McCaffrey, obviously both Stanford alumni. But think about when McCaffrey came out of the college to the draft. That was in 2017. That was the first draft for Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. And as we know, Lynch did a ton of scouting of Stanford that year. He even took a class with Solomon Thomas. This is just me theorizing right now. Maybe we'll get some more of this, truth-wise, truth serum, whatever you need from Shanahan and Lynch. But I think they really, really were tempted to pick Christian McCaffrey as their first pick of that 2017 draft. But I think there was also a realization in 2017 that the 49ers were still far away from contention, and that a running back, a versatile offensive weapon would have been more of a luxury pick at the time. And they were trying to build the foundation of the trenches first. So they went with McCaffrey's college teammate, Solomon Thomas, instead, with that number 3 overall pick. Obviously, Thomas didn't pan out for the 49ers, didn't even make it to the 5th-year option year as a first-round pick. We can talk all about how that didn't pan out for this football team. But we can also acknowledge that we could see what the 49ers were thinking. They were trying to build this team for the trenches first, and that obviously ended up working out in the aggregate, right? They did build a very strong defensive line. It just didn't happen because of Solomon Thomas. But because of that priority in 2017, they did not pick Christian McCaffrey. I think ever since then, there's been a little bit of, he's the one that got away. And it's that way for both Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. Both leaders of the 49ers brain trust, I think, on this issue have agreed that Christian McCaffrey is a player that they would have liked to see in a 49ers uniform. So you fast forward from 2017. And by the way, McCaffrey in 2017 went number 8 overall to the Carolina Panthers. Here you see him in their uniform. So the 49ers didn't get him. He went 5 picks later. You fast forward from 2017 here to 2022. 5 years later, the 49ers have a chance to grab Christian McCaffrey, with the Panthers, essentially running into the tank now that their team is absolutely terrible. They fired their coach. And I think that encouraged the 49ers to really make a Rams-like run at Christian McCaffrey. They didn't want to get beat by the Rams on a free agent who they saw as the one who got away so many years ago. And now they have him. And why is Christian McCaffrey the one that got away? Well, just imagine the dynamic with Deebo Samuel. Throughout the years here, the 49ers have been trying to pick up positionless skill position weapons. It goes back to Kittle in that 2017 draft, right? In the 5th round, they saw him as a guy who could be versatile. It has continued with so many other players. They signed Kyle Juszczyk as a free agent. I mean, now you're going to have Kyle Juszczyk, Harvard, blocking for Christian McCaffrey, Stanford. I like the sound of that. Why don't I put this up on the Twitter machine? I think that's a tweet that I have to make. It's not Ivy League across the board because Stanford's in the Pac-12. They're not in the Ivy League, but it is. It's this is worth tweeting while we're live on the show. So the 49ers will now have Harvard's Kyle Juszczyk blocking for Stanford's Christian McCaffrey, and both will be catching passes. Should I? Yeah, that's good. All right, I'm sure Kyle will like that tweet. If Kyle's watching right now, he could like it right away. Kyle likes tweets about him. I love Kyle Juszczyk. Kyle Juszczyk is a good guy to talk to. He's going to have a lot of good schematic insight about this. But go ahead and follow along on Twitter if you're not doing so yet. This is where we are on Twitter. Where is it? Banner. Obviously, subscribe to The Athletic, Twitter, Lombardi himself, Instagram, Lombardi himself. Yeah, I had to dig through the Instagram to find this picture from back in the day. You know what? I can't find that blazer anywhere. So we're going with the new blazers now. But people are saying recreate this picture from back in the ESPN days with Christian McCaffrey at Stanford. No can do, because I don't know where that blazer's at. That blazer was lost shortly thereafter. More on the 49ers here. Let's see. They need to fix their number 26 run game. That's big. We talked about Christian McCaffrey cost. The salary cap bill only $646,000 this year, but the cost comes through draft capital. Never, ever say the 49ers aren't aggressive again. That was a big load of crap. And I think it's, really been demonstrated here now that Christian McCaffrey is with the football team. And this is cool because that connection just goes really far back. Now, why don't we talk a little bit about the injury situation? And, we could even maybe even pull up Christian McCaffrey's Pro Football Reference page right here. So we could, just talk about games missed, what the 49ers are risking. I mean, is this brazen? Can they expect Christian McCaffrey to stay relatively healthy? These are all questions that we do need to ask. So let me drag this into here. This should open up our... If I could get rid of this. All right. Guess got to close some of the ads. Here we go. Make this a little bit bigger. And we're going to see Christian McCaffrey and his games played and his stats throughout all of his seasons. So you have 2017, 2018, 2019. This is important right here. He played in 16 out of 16 games in each of his first 3 seasons. So there's no talk about a lack of durability there. That is 48 out of 48 games played. It wasn't until 2020 that McCaffrey was limited to 3 games, and then 2021, 7 games. So far in 2022, he's played in all 6. The injury issues didn't start until the COVID year. That is something that is absolutely relevant in this situation. The 49ers as a team, everybody started getting hurt on a mass scale in 2020. The offseason was compromised. You saw a lot of muscle injuries, right? Across the whole league, injuries were up. Well, it just so happens that Christian McCaffrey played 48 out of 48 games until the injury-compromised COVID offseason of 2020. Just keep that in mind. I get it. He only played in 10 games over the course of 2020 and 2021. That is a blemish on his record for sure. But we're looking for context here, right? And the fact that he played in 48 out of 48 before playing in only, 10 out of 32 in 2 seasons, there's a difference there. And what changed between 2019 and 2020? Well, either Christian McCaffrey stopped getting lucky, but I don't think, I think he prepared his body just fine. I don't think that had a lot more to do than luck to be on the field 48 out of 48 times in his first 3 seasons, or his workout program had to change because of the COVID compromised offseason. And if that indeed is the case, then it makes sense that McCaffrey might have had a shaky 2020 and 2021 health-wise, but now he's back on the horse. Now everybody's saying, well, the 49ers are sending their whole team to IR. McCaffrey will fit right in. Let's just wait and see how this pans out, right, in 2022. Because this is a guy who, I mean, he was so durable in that 2015 season at Stanford. He had 3,861 all-purpose yards. That broke Barry Sanders' single-season record. Think about how much yardage that is in a short, like 12 or 13 game college season. 3,861 all-purpose yards. He's returning punts. He's returning kicks. He's running back. He's a receiver. He's doing all this, and he's staying healthy. He stays healthy through his first 3 NFL seasons. The health issues have come over the past 2 seasons, and we will see if they stay with Christian McCaffrey or if he goes back to what was his career norm before then. But I think some context is really important if we're going to discuss this injury situation before people just start, bashing stuff without the appropriate context, because to me, that doesn't make any sense. And, remember, he's not destroying the 49ers salary cap situation this year. It's the cap hits and the 49ers. I mean, McCaffrey's 26 years old. The 49ers now have him under contract for 2023, 2024, and 2025 for a long time, basically all the way up until he's 30 years old, right? And it's in those years where his cap hit increases to about 12 million. But none of that money is guaranteed. So to me, it's totally possible, if stuff doesn't go right this year, that the two parties come and sit down and they determine, or even if it goes well this year, the two parties can determine a rework of the contract that makes more sense for essentially everybody involved. You can do something that satisfies Christian McCaffrey with more money now and also lowers his cap hit. But in general, the fact that the 49ers have given up this many draft picks means they only have a third rounder and a fifth rounder in the 2023 draft. And you guys know that I talk a lot about how the salary cap is expected to explode and will explode with these new $100 billion TV deals in the NFL. Well, revenue is going to be tied to increasing salary cap numbers. And those increasing salary cap numbers are giving teams, rich teams like the 49ers, much more confidence that they're going to be able to fill out their roster by spending, by signing guys. Maybe the draft becomes a little bit less of the preferred option for teams with money moving forward, given how the salary cap is going to explode. So I think the fact that the 49ers gave up this many draft picks for a player who might get a little pricey here over the next few years, even if that's not guaranteed, I think philosophically this shows us that the 49ers have shifted into saying we're going to pay for a proven commodity versus try to, win with the draft crapshoot. And the 49ers have done fine with the draft, especially in the later rounds. But they saw a player that they really coveted in Christian McCaffrey, and they decided to roll the dice. And I think one thing that made them comfortable about rolling the dice is the fact that the salary cap is going to shoot up here in future seasons. I think that's, just one of those things that you weigh the cost benefit dynamic of this. So just crazy. I'm wondering how much we can expect McCaffrey against the Chiefs. I saw somewhere that he's going to be on a plane tonight, and there are no red eyes from the East Coast to the West Coast on a commercial flight. So the 49ers probably got him a charter or a private jet. I'm sure he'll be looking into the playbook overnight, maybe getting a little bit of sleep on this flight. Maybe we could flight track Charlotte to San Jose, see the Christian McCaffrey Express. It's actually a good idea. I'm going to try to do that. See if the Christian McCaffrey Express has left yet from the Charlotte airport to San Jose. Search by route. What's Charlotte? But they're playing the Chiefs this weekend, which is big. There we go. Charlotte Douglas to SJC. Right, I'm searching by route. They're playing the Chiefs, which is obviously big. They may need some real offensive help to win this game, especially if they're a little bit shorthanded with Charvarius Ward in the secondary. And I am looking right now. He's definitely not taking the American Airlines flight that's scheduled in 17 hours and 23 minutes. I don't know if it's... I got good at this during the Trey Lance draft season, going to FlightAware, finding these nonstops. There's only 2 nonstops currently scheduled, so either he's flying out of a different airport near Charlotte, maybe something smaller, or it hasn't been scheduled yet. But I'm not really even sure where I saw the Christian McCaffrey flight schedule, so we'll have to figure that out. Anyway, full circle, Christian McCaffrey to the 49ers. Now, please spell his name right moving forward. A lot of people misspell it. They spell it McCaffrey, but it's REY, not ERY, REY. So please spell that name correctly. Oh man. Let's see some questions here. Let's lead this McCaffrey discussion into whichever way you want to take it. I mean, there's just way too many. I think the 49ers have a private plane, but the issue there is I don't know if it's in North Carolina right now or if they have to send it out to get him. Usually, like you in this situation like this, you borrow somebody else's private plane, right? And they do you a favor. Because if you have a private plane, you probably know somebody with a private plane. And then they fly him out, and then you could repay the favor on the way back. I don't know. I'm not the biggest expert on private plane mechanics, so it's one of those situations where I'm just guessing. Did I expect this? I expected the 49ers to be in the sweepstakes. I only expected them to offer a third and a fourth, maybe a fifth to sweeten it. I did not expect the 49ers to part ways with their second round pick. That is where this diverted from my, assumption of how this team would operate. That to me is the most surprising part of this, and that's probably something that I'll tweet here in a little bit. I think giving up this much, giving up that second round pick has marked a little bit of a shift in organizational philosophy. They've always been aggressive, but now they're going for broke. That's the way that I would term that. But again, just imagine the McCaffrey dynamic with Deebo Samuel. Could be special for the 49ers. McCaffrey's 2022 salary cap bill, only $646,000. Going through all this stuff, the Christian McCaffrey stat page. I mean, especially if you go here, you see the 1,000 season came in 2019 at 1,387 rushing, 1,005 receiving, 4 receiving touchdowns, 15 rushing touchdowns, all pro kind of status there for Christian McCaffrey. Was as versatile as he was back then, Stanford years for Christian McCaffrey. Now, we can also look at the 49ers roster now, the depth chart and the roster. Why don't we do that? I've already slotted him in here for you. People are asking me about the corresponding move where Christian McCaffrey is going to be right here. And the corresponding move, well, I don't think you can carry 6 running backs. They currently have 6 of these guys, and they have 54 on the 53. So you're getting rid of Tevin Coleman. I don't think you get rid of Ty Davis Price just yet. Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason might be the odd man out here for the 49ers because you can't keep all of these weapons, but they're going to have to make at least one corresponding move. Everybody who's on right now, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, sub to the channel. I think we got a record amount of viewers right now. In case you're new here, I try to go super in depth with anything 49ers. And I know that I'm doing a ton of stuff on The Athletic. I know that we do a podcast. We talk a lot on here just to share with you the landing page for all the work. So you could be a full part of this 49ers coverage party. This is what it looks like. This big up on the screen for you guys. This is the Athletic homepage for some of my writing. Just a couple days ago, wrote about the 49ers potentially trading for Christian McCaffrey. And it's funny because just right after, this is the breakdown right after the Carolina game. Look who's in the picture there. 3 49ers in the picture. Charvarius Ward, Christian McCaffrey, Dre Greenlaw. And we'll see if Charvarius Ward plays for the 49ers this weekend. By the way, I was out at practice today. I had a nice practice injury report. The 49ers they continue to get healthier. They're going to add Christian McCaffrey for Sunday. If we go back to the 49ers roster here, stretch this sucker out for you. I can give you a few updates. Tyler Croft, full participant today, so I could take him off of injury coloring. We'll reset that. Charlie Werner, full participant today. We could take him off injury coloring. We'll keep Trent Williams in pink, but it really looks like he's going to play. Mike McGlinchey, we'll keep him in pink, but it really looks like he's going to play. We'll keep Nick Bosa in pink because he was limited, but it really looks like he's going to play. Eric Armstead almost certainly will be out this week. Sensen Ebukam, though, will be back. I mean, hell, let's take these guys off of the pink injury report. These guys are going to play. I would be shocked, and I'll put them back on this injury report if it ends up not being the case. But Ebukam, Drake Jackson, we're removing a lot of injuries from here. Hufanga I'll keep in the pink because he's still in the concussion protocol. Jimmy Ward I'll keep in the pink because he's got the cast on his hand. He had a different kind of cast today, not the full club. But as you can see, the injury situation for the 49ers got a lot better. Will Jason Verrett play? I don't know yet. The 49ers have until next Wednesday to activate him from the PUP list. They might slow play this and activate and stash Jason Verrett because practice speed is a whole lot different than game speed. Do not accidentally mistake Kyle Shanahan's comment saying Verrett's good to go yesterday for practice as Verrett is good to go for the game. And also don't say that just because Charvarius Ward hasn't practiced that he won't play against the Chiefs. He's dealing with a groin issue. Nobody knows knows Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs better than Charvarius Ward, right? He did 3 training camps going toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes. So if there's somebody that doesn't need a week of practice ahead of Chiefs week, it's Charvarius Ward just because of the experience that he has going up against Mahomes. That's not to say that he will play. I just don't think that it's prudent to fully rule him out just yet. And we'll see what the 49ers do with Jason Verrett. But they are healing up. They're adding pieces. Obviously, they just added Christian McCaffrey. And it'll be fascinating to see how McCaffrey can impact this game on Sunday. Yeah, maybe just for the red zone to start things out. Sorry, this comment section is just going crazy on me, so I don't know where to start. He can help Jimmy Garoppolo with the quick release game, that's for sure. Yep, Tim Kawakami hinted that the 49ers were front runners. Credit to him today. Robert Jorgensen says, F them picks. Good day for the 49ers and Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey to get to a contending team. So make sure you check out the piece on The Athletic. It's right here. Once again, I'm going to copy and paste this into the chat section. And then in a little bit, I'm going to get going. You guys are going nuts on there. But anyway, 49ers do pick up Christian McCaffrey. Let me just go through some of the stuff that we talked about one more time, and then we'll sign this sucker off. I'm checking a couple of texts here. The phones have been blowing up today. So it's exciting stuff for sure. All right. Good one. Mike sent me something funny. We'll have to share that. I want to open it up here, Mike. I can't. My texting isn't working on this computer, so not going to be able to do it. But I kind of want to share this with you guys just to wrap up this show. It's a good one. If it opens, it's going to be a really good one. I promise you. Just give it a second. Patience is a virtue. It might just work. It might not. We just got to give the computer some chance to catch up here at a restart. A program. But anyway, here while we wait, it's been full circle. Christian McCaffrey to the 49ers. 49ers go into this mode. F them picks. And because they've gone into this mode, we are able to. I don't think it's going to work. Actually, I have a workaround. I really want to show you guys this. And I feel it's the perfect way to wrap this up. Here we go. Oh, man. All right, it's going to work, guys. It's going to work. I have it. Who's ready? From Mike. There it is. Good job, Mike. John Lynch pulling a Les Snead. I thought this was pretty funny. Not bad. So we could all give Mike the slow clap. 49ers going to F them picks mode to beat out the Rams for Christian McCaffrey. 2023 second, 2023 third, 2023 fourth, and a 2024 fifth rounder. Christian McCaffrey is a game-changing back if he can stay healthy for the 49ers. The McCaffrey 49ers connection goes way, way back. Imagine. And I mean, this goes back to Kyle Shanahan babysitting Christian McCaffrey, Shanahan's sister babysitting all four McCaffrey boys. Ed McCaffrey played for the 1994 49ers, the most recent 49ers team to win a Super Bowl. Shanahan's thinking, imagine the dynamic positionless skill position players with Deebo Samuel. Pair Christian McCaffrey with Deebo Samuel on this football team. But most of all, Shanahan's thinking in the short term, we got to fix this number 26 run game. The 49ers are number 7 DVOA pass, number 26 run. You got to fix the rushing issues here. McCaffrey can do that and help the pass game. And, you know, if we want to talk about cost, the salary cap bill for Christian McCaffrey, only $646,000 this year. That's important to discuss in conjunction with the larger cost of the draft picks, right? But financially, the 49ers are able to afford Christian McCaffrey in the short term. All right, everybody, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Big day for the 49ers. Got the show off. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Hope everybody enjoyed the artwork from Mike. That was funny. All right, everybody take care. More exciting times coming soon. 49ers pick up Christian McCaffrey in an aggressive trade from the Panthers that really redraws the lines of how the 49ers have been doing business. And they've been aggressive, but now they're going for broke. And that's going to make 49ers Chiefs this weekend really, really fun. Again, 49ers Chiefs, the Super Bowl rematch, tight end, National Tight End Day, everything is coming up this weekend, and we're going to be able to tie Christian McCaffrey into all of it. All-pro player, all-pro game-changing back joining the 49ers. It's going to be a lot of fun. Ooh, Mike sent me something else. Do I sign off yet? This is a thought from Mike. This is good. Christian McCaffrey has never had an offensive coordinator like Kyle Shanahan. His best might be yet to be seen as long as he's healthy. That's a good way to finish this, as long as he's healthy. You got to have some of that good injury fortune on your side. But I saw Christian McCaffrey do a lot of special things in a Stanford uniform. It's all full circle for me. And when he's healthy, I mean, this guy's really good, even at the NFL level, 1,000 guys. So this is really exciting stuff for the 49ers. And we'll see if it pays off for them. It might not. It might blow up in their face. But that's why we're here, right? We're here for the entertainment. Are you not entertained? I certainly am. I hope you are too. All right, everybody, like and subscribe. Talk to you soon. Bye.